Why do men and women often seem to drift apart in relationships? It's a question almost everyone asks at some point. You meet someone, you click, there's excitement, connection, chemistry, and then, over time, something changes. The spark fades. The conversations get shorter. Misunderstandings pile up. Suddenly, you're wondering what happened to the person you once couldn't get enough of. Is it just that people grow apart? Or is there something deeper going on? Something rooted in how men and women are wired, how they're raised, and how they're taught to love. Today, we're unpacking all of that. We're going to explore why so many couples struggle to stay connected. Not because they don't care, but because they don't always speak the same emotional language. Let's start with something simple but powerful. Communication. Communication isn't just words. It's tone, timing, body language, emotional intent. And it turns out, men and women often approach communication with very different goals. A woman might talk to process emotions, to connect. A man, on the other hand, might see conversation as a means to solve a problem or fix something. So when one partner just wants to be heard and the other immediately starts offering solutions, both end up feeling frustrated. This isn't about stereotypes. It's about patterns. These patterns show up in countless relationships. Maybe she says, "I feel like you don't listen to me." And he replies, "That's not true. I am listening." But what she means is, "You're not really hearing me. You're not feeling what I'm trying to say." And what he hears is criticism. So he shuts down, withdraws, or gets defensive. Now we're not just talking about different communication styles. We're talking about a cycle. One partner reaches out, the other pulls away. One seeks connection, the other seeks space. And that emotional gap starts to widen. Why does this happen? A big part of it lies in how we're socialized. From a young age, boys are often taught to be tough, to hide their feelings, to push through. Vulnerability is seen as weakness. Meanwhile, girls are encouraged to express emotion, to share, to nurture. Over time, this creates an emotional blueprint. Men often become more guarded with feelings. Women, more expressive. Neither is wrong. But without awareness, it leads to misunderstanding. And it doesn't stop there. Society reinforces these roles. Movies, media, even family dynamics teach us what to expect from love and relationships. We're told that men should be stoic providers and women should be emotionally available caretakers. But these roles are outdated, and they don't reflect the complexity of who we really are. Now let's go a little deeper. Imagine you've had a long day. You come home and start venting to your partner about something that happened at work. You're not asking for advice. You just want to be understood. But instead of listening, they jump in with solutions. Why don't you just quit that job? Next time, you should say this instead. It's meant to help, but it doesn't feel like help. It feels like dismissal. And here's where things get tricky. Both people feel like they're doing the right thing, but they're missing each other emotionally. This is the root of so many relational issues. Not a lack of love, but a lack of emotional alignment. What's the turning point? It's empathy. Real, honest, vulnerable empathy that's saying, "I may not fully understand what you're feeling, but I want to try." It's resisting the urge to defend yourself and instead leaning into curiosity. It's asking, "How can I support you right now?" It's learning to communicate not just your thoughts, but your needs, your fears, your desires. And this goes both ways. Men need to feel safe being vulnerable. Women need to feel safe being heard without being labeled too emotional. Both partners need to feel seen, valued, and respected. And that starts with building a culture of openness in a relationship, where honesty isn't punished and silence isn't mistaken for peace. Here's the truth. No one is born knowing how to love perfectly. We learn through experience, through mistakes, through growth. But we can only grow if we're willing to listen, not just to our partners, but to ourselves. What triggers you? What shuts you down? What makes you feel connected? The more you know yourself, the better partner you become. To sum it up, yes, men and women often communicate and connect in different ways, but those differences aren't walls. They're doorways. When we stop assuming, start asking, and truly listen with empathy, we turn misunderstanding into connection that we stop drifting apart and start finding our way back to each other. Now I want to hear from you. Have you experienced these kinds of disconnects in your own relationships? How did you work through them? Or are you still figuring it out? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. And if you want to dive even deeper, check out our next video on how to communicate your needs clearly, without conflict, guilt, or shutdowns. It might just change everything.